special effects today. So I'm going to be making fake blood. I am going to be recreating the stabbing scene, but on a smaller scale because of the things I have access to. And I'm going to be doing some of the makeup that I would have done in the film as well. So I'm going to get going. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to be making fake blood. You can get lots of different kinds of fake blood. My personal favourite is the coagulated blood, which is quite thick and it's just really gory. This is a bottle of fake blood that I just bought online. It was very cheap, but I need to have safe to eat edible fake blood for this film because it's going to be coming out of the mouth. Also, it's a lot cheaper if you make your own because you can make a huge amount of it and it doesn't cost you. So, ingredients I need for my fake blood are corn syrup, red food colouring, and cocoa powder, and this helps thicken things up a bit, so it depends on what kind of fake blood that you want. So the impact that I'm going to have a stabbing injury, which is going to be it's a bit thinner because it's just like a fresh wound that's coming out of the chest, so it won't be so thick. But then if I wanted the blood coming out of the mouth that would have gone through the lungs, then I need it to be a bit thicker and darker. So first of all, I will make the lighter one. So you add some corn syrup, which I'm trying to open. So there we go. So you open that up and you pop a cupful. So I've got a quarter cup measure here, so I'm going to do like half measures because I'm just making it for practice, and then I can keep it for when I actually make the film. So you add about half cup of corn syrup. So the consistency of this is quite thick, which is better for blood, which is super gross and nice, which I love. And then I'm going to put this down on a bit of kitchen roll because I'm very responsible. So to the corn syrup you will add red food colouring. Now red food colouring is great, and this one is particularly good because it's quite thick as well. I get to use a pipette for this, which is like just awesome. So you add a few drops, a lot of drops because I want it to be like grim. And then give that a mix. That I mix up. So here there's a very thin red blood, which will be great for the stabbing wounds, but not so great for like the in the mouth stuff that comes out because I want that to be nice and thick and gross. So that's the thin one. So to make it thicker, you would add some cocoa powder. You can also use blue food colouring for this as well, because that's like something to do with oxygen and science and things. So then you add the cocoa powder, and then you give that a nice mix in. Oh, it smells really nice as well. And this is like completely edible. So then, as you can see now, the blood is like a thicker, darker red. And when that is in the mouth coming out, it looks like it's the older blood that has like been released into the lungs and is now being coughed out. So that is my fake blood recipe how-to video. And as you can see, it's completely safe to eat and it's actually pretty good. It tastes like chocolate sauce. So yeah, fake blood. Another prop that we see in the film is Dylan's body being wrapped up in body bags. For the filming of the actual wrapping of the body, we can use Nathan, who's playing Dylan, so we'll be able to wrap him up in bags to an extent. But when his face is covered and things like that, and she'll be able to drag the body out, I would need to use a prop. because I can't expect Imogen to pull an entire human, and it could cause injury and suffocation, and there's so many risks associated with it, so I'm going to make a body bag, and this is how I would do that. So the next thing I'm going to do is recreate the effects for the stabbing scene. So it's going to be two different recordings of the stabbing scene. It's going to be the recording of the knife going in, which is going to be done with special effects, and then there's the other scene where Amy is stabbing at Dylan, and for that we would use a blunted knife, and it would all be choreographed so that there was no risk of harming anyone, which was all going to be done in the risk assessment. But for making the actual stabbing scene, I get to use some amazing things, and I'm really actually very excited about doing this. So this is what I will be using. So I have a pork shoulder joint, some gloves because raw meat, a knife, I have an old top, some cling film, and some fake blood. So open the meat. Right, so the reason I chose to use real meat and like pork shoulder is because it's just going to look so much better, because pork is actually quite close to human skin and fat meat, so it works better than anything else. Had I done this in the actual film, I would have used a much bigger piece of meat. I would have probably gone to a butcher and got some pork, like a long, big, what am I trying to say? A big bit of pig, basically, is what I'm trying to say. So, here we have got our meat. My son is looking at me, disgusted. So, as you can see here, we have got the flesh, the nice big fleshy part here, and we've got a nice thick layer of skin and tissue. So, when you actually stab it, it's difficult, which is like, you wouldn't be able, it's not easy to stab someone, I'm guessing, apparently, but it's a good, like, if you really go for it, it's a good thing. And then you've got the resistance as well of the skin on the knife, which looks really good. So that will be that bit. So what I would do then is put a layer of cling film and blood over the top of the skin. So I'm going to take my glove off and move this across here. So for the purposes of this one, I am going to use the thinner fake blood, because it would be a fresh injury and therefore the blood would be much lighter. So, take off the cling film. Cling film is my nemesis and will be causing me grief, I can tell already. So, here, put the cling film out on there. And what I want to do is create almost like a blood balloon, but I don't want it to be inflated like a balloon. I want it to be nice and flat, so it's a lot easier if you use cling film because it's going to mould to the skin that you do it on. So I'm going to use this thin blood that I have here because that's going to be a lot easier to make bright red. So just pour that over there. So it's still quite thick. And I need a nice load of that on there because I want it to look super gory. There. And then would fold this over and that will create a nice sort of pouch of blood rather than like a round one. And if I could seal that like that, that's not going to seep out then. So there I've got a nice flat blood area. Then I can put that on top of the meat like this. So that'll go on there. I'll put some more gloves on now because I'm going to be handling the meat. Okay, so spread that out so it's nice and thin, so you've got it, it's going to come through but it's not going to protrude and make it look realistic. So then I'm going to take this old top and put that over here, over the meat. So when I take the knife and I stab into the meat, it's going to look like an actual stab wound. So that there, and then you've instantly got the blood coming through, but it's not like a ridiculous amount, it's more like. So as we can see here, following a few stab wounds, the blood is still seeping and it's starting to pool, which is great because that's a lot more natural and it's not just like running out everywhere, which it wouldn't do. So I'm going to try and do some more to really get the knife in. This isn't a particularly sharp knife because health and safety, but yeah, so it looks great. You get nice few stabs and then you're going to get more of the stab wounds. And then if we did go and start ripping at the top, so the more and more stab wounds you do, the more ripped open the top is going to be, and then underneath it does actually look like human skin. So if you see any of the underneath, it's going to look a lot more realistic than if I was just using a blood prop, which is why I wanted to use meat. And I know that a lot of people might not, but I don't get grossed out by it, so it's fine. So we've got a nice big juicy stab wound. Stick your finger in it like that. It's great, it's really nice. So that's my stabbing. Nice. Yeah, I'm just playing with it now. So the next part that I'm going to go into is the special effects makeup. So first of all, I'll start with Dylan's scene in the flashback where he has got a cut lip and Amy's washing her hands in the bathroom. So for Amy, literally just need fake blood where she would be washing her hands. For Dylan's lip, I will be using just oil-based face paint and something called Rigid Collodion, which is amazing. It dries on and it makes your skin kind of pucker and go like tightens up, and it makes it look like a deeper cut than it's not a cut, so it makes it look like a deep cut. And some eyeshadow. So for this one, the first thing I'm going to do is take a little bit of the sort of browny red paint and put that where you want the scar to be on the lip. So I'm going to go here. So it doesn't have to be like neat or anything, literally just like so it looks like your lips cut. and then you start adding the rigid collodion. So you can do as much of this as you like in layers. And the more layers you add, the deeper it'll look. So just gonna add a little bit more, make it a little bit deeper. There we go. So that is the effect of rigid collodion. I don't know if you can see it, but it's like puckered it up and it looks like an actual scar in the lip. So then, to make it look like it is swollen, you would add some eyeshadow. And you have that there then. It looks like the swelling underneath and some bruising starting to form around it. And then if you use some more of the oil-based face paint and you add some of the red to it to make it look like it's a fresher wound, and there. Gross. So that looks a lot fresher. And then add some of the brownie one to give it a bit more depth. There. So then to that I would add some blood so that it looks like it's bleeding. And I love this blood. This is coagulated blood, so it's really good for things like zombies and corpses, but it works really well, especially if you want like a cut or something like that, because it's got a good thickness to it. So if you hot that in, I can go all the way to the top and all the way through. And then you've got a nice thick cut with some nice bruising, and then you could add just some dabs around. So that it looks like an actual cut on the lip. The next thing I'm going to do is some bruising. So I'm going to do some bruising around, bruising and like scrapes. So for a nice, if you want a nice scrape, best thing you can use is a stippling brush. So when Dylan's being kept by Amy in the bedroom, she's obviously not treating him very well. She's giving him a few beatings and things like that. So we'll do this and just nice soft scrapes across. And it looks like actual scrapes rather than like, you don't want like a blot, you want a good scrape. So by doing this, you can add, so it looks like she's kind of dragged him or just like hit him like that. And the stippling's really good for that as well. It makes it look a bit bloody, and again you can add things like fake blood and that'll make it look like it's bleeding. And the other thing I was going to do on Dylan was to make a nice little scar. So I'm going to use this scar wax, which I make myself. It's literally made from Vaseline and flour. So you just take a small portion. It comes out like skin coloured, and it depends. Oh look, my lip's bleeding terrible. Sad. So if you add like foundation, you can make it more natural skin tone and it'll match any skin tone. So I'm just going to use this one because I'm pale as hell. And so if I put this on my face and spread it across, I find this works better than the shop bought waxes because this is a lot smoother. It's more of a paste than a solid wax, and it looks a lot more natural. So we can see here I have got a dollop of
gunk on my face. Very technical terms being used for this. Then I would take my little applicator. So then you draw whatever shape you want your scar to be into the cheek. So say I wanted a nice big round cut. Go like this. And that's really opened up there on the cheek because of the natural contours. So I will add some of this nice browny red again because it gives it a nice bit of depth. So that'll go through here. So there you've got a nice deep cut that looks like it's coming out. So again here it would be a stippling brush. We're going to go with, this is a new wound, so I'm going to start with some red. And the stippling brush just makes it look a lot more natural. So if I add that around there. So as you can see, it looks very bright, which is not natural. So then we would go for some purple. And if you add some purple to it, it's going to make it look a bit more angry. And stippling is great because it looks more like the kind of capillaries rather like bursting rather than like you've just painted something on. I'm going to add a little bit of yellow as well. Just to add just something a bit more. And then I'm going to go with the coagulated blood again, because it's not like a just happened wound. This is it's been there for like, say it's been there for a couple of days. And so I would take the applicator again and put it through the middle. So we just need to add a little bit more over here. Like that. So it looks like a nice deep scar. Got some old blood in there because the older the blood is, the darker it's going to be. You've got some nice old blood, nice cut lip, and some scrapes. And the next thing I'm going to put in is some old bruising, which is different from the fresher bruising here, which is like the dark colour. So this time I am going to do some, I'm going to do this with the powder. So you can use eyeshadow. So I've got a nice palette here. I'm going to make a nice bruise on the head. So if you want an old bruise that's healing, it's going to be more yellowy green. So I would add, first of all, I would go with the green. So if I just do a little dab around here. So we've got a bit of a shape to it. Then around the edge of that, you want to add some yellow. So it's like spread. And it's really important to blend those in, because if you just have like a line, it's going to look naff. So you blend those in. Nice. So we've got like an old healing bruise there. And if you did want to lighten it up even more, you can use some of the white eyeshadow and just go over it. And that'll fade it up a little bit more. So it's not too stark. So we have old bruise, new bruise and cut lip, scrapes, big old cuts, and that's the makeup.